back, everyone, for some more Phoenix Wright and Justice for All. And we should be wrapping up day one of the investigation here in the case against Matt Arngard. And we found out some pretty interesting things. And unfortunately, we also did not find out a bunch of things because Oldbag, Andrews, and Lotta all have psychic locks that we need to find some way to break. So hopefully we will in this episode. But before we continue on, hopefully you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys are doing well. So without further ado, let's wrap up day one of the investigation. Okay, first thing we need to do is to move to the hotel lobby. Okay. Take that! Okay, what you witnessed. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But aw, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you youngins' expense. I am a little devil after all. Doesn't it imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. That's Juan's autograph! Yes, it is. And it even says, "To my dearest Wendy" on it. That's me, right? Right? My name is Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please, give it to me. Let me have it, please. I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Wow, she must really want this autograph. My offer isn't good enough for you? Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open up her heart, all for my dearest Juan. Oh, dang! Just that one piece of evidence unlocked all those psych locks. Autograph given to Wendy Dearest. Okay. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding. Oh no! It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet minding my own business. And? Did you tell that to the police? Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it. Maybe more. Gift certificate? I've been recruited again for that part at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty. But Mr. Arngard hasn't done anything bad. I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dear poor Juan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken. A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it. What did Mr. Arngard ever do to her to deserve this? What did Mr. Arngard do to you to make you so... You don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan. Mr. Nick! Oh, what is it? What's a scandal? Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay? Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress. Mr. Nick, what do vials and vile temptress mean? How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldbag, who was this woman you were talking about? Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose. His own manager, but why? I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud. Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag? I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know. And do you have proof that Mr. Arngard did what you say he did? Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so. Of course, a tabloid. Next sweet. Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet? Why would this old bag have information like that? And where did she get it? Hehehehe. Oh god. Okay, let's move to the hallway. Okay, now we're gonna present the Magatama to Lotta. Big scoop. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room? I told you, didn't I? For my scoop. What I want to know about the details of the scoop. That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that is my bread and butter. Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm gonna say that you were looking into a scandal. Grr. Could it be that you, Lotta Hurt, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between one creator and this person. And we gotta present Adrian Andrews. Take that! This woman! She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Ongard's manager. Oomph. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jamma Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup. Backup? Yeah, you gotta have that. That, what's it? News sauce. You mean news source? That's it. So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews. Okay, and we are going to show her this, the magazine clipping. Take that! This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jam and Midnight Rendezvous? To the mysterious yet beautiful manager of the stars, Miss A.A. Ah! Mr. Kurita didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Ongard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials A.A. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of him as proof. That's why you were looking around Mr. Kurita's door last night. Wow! Unlock successful. Okay. You were looking into Mr. Kurita and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching him in a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. What'd you just say? Her initials were AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do, so that's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh! I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, Lotta, nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote on it on, my note to myself, is gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story, didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell ya. What's with people now, anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. Lotta's camera updated in the court record. Stolen on the night of the murder. Tabloid article about the victim was in the case. Okay, that's it for now. Okay. Now we're going to be moving to the Criminal Affairs Department. March 21st, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah! Oh, he's back! Hey, so you came, pal. Rather blunt greeting. Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight. But, we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight? I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's 2 big pieces. The 2? And both of them are in this photo. The first is a button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. Ongard. Yup, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai's special pants. And the second one is? The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact. Fingerprints? Whose are they? You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt Ongard's. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well... And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone. Her blab knob is stuck on 10 and there's no turning it down, trust me. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Ongard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death. No way! Okay, now I'm gonna show him the magazine clipping. We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Kurita? But why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. Suicide? Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one. Her mentor? A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Would her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal? Oh, I sure do. She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but... Ah! I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma, you can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't mean... I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's... But wait, please wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll stop... Quiet! If it weren't for the traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you wanted to say? Well, who? That voice. Edgeworth! It's been a long time, Ray. This person! This is Mr. Edgeworth? What am I gonna do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong? You haven't changed a bit, Franziska. You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You've soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed to be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you're having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You! Seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow. In court. It'll be a clinical lesson on meaning a total victory. Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you... the prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick! I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome to someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you gonna run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is this going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd be better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francisca, she almost always says, I will defeat you this time, the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client. To save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals, those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. Looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn. Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Okay. I want to hear what he has to say about Celeste's impacts. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Kurita's manager. And then a few months later, Celeste Impacts died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there's still one riddle we've yet to solve. The riddle? The suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. The suicide note that just vanished, huh? Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there's no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence. However, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Kurita himself. The victim. Oh, that's kind of graphic. He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Kurita hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is a suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? Suicide report added to the court record. Deceased, Celeste Impacts, found by Juan Kurita. Was her suicide note hidden? Okay, we're actually going to present this suicide report to Edgeworth. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has two. 2 parts. What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name? It's Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews, what did she do? She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews, she has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will, but why would she... Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impact, was gone forever. That's why. Well, why would that... Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely, and once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude. It's all facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Attempted suicide report added to the court record. Attempter, Adrian Andrews. Reason, shock from Celeste Impact's suicide. Okay, with that, I think we're gonna go to the detention center. March 21st, detention center. Visitors room. Ah, the lawyer dude. So what did you find out? Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating. I see. But I've already told you everything I know, dude. Oh, really? Okay. Let's see what you have, what your feelings are towards a certain Celeste Impax. What's wrong? How much do you know? Well, what do you mean, how much? Mr. Lawyer, I may be your client, but I hope you will keep yourself out of my personal life. No, I would never. No, if you'll excuse me. I have a lunch appointment I have to keep. You're in detention! Who in the world are you gonna eat with? The security guard? Mr. Nick? This Celeste Impax lady. Somehow, I get the feeling she is a very important person in all this. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go... We're gonna go to Onguard's hotel room again. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel, Onguard's hotel room. Oh, Miss Andrews is here! But it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Franziska von Karma. Miss von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you? Then that's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Girls? You're always following after that Mr. Detective with a little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she? Okay. I am actually going to present Matt Arngard to Adrian. I asked to become Mr. Arngard's manager. He's a pleasure to manage with his nice disposition. Mr. Arngard does seem like a rather weak-willed man, always doing as he's told. He's always saying my manager, right, Mr. Nick? Okay. You know something, don't you? About why Mr. Kurita was murdered. Why are you asking me? Don't tell me you can see inside my heart. No, but I can see the locks you have on your psyche. You can help me move her locks! Yeah, it's worthless to even ask. Okay. Now we're gonna present the Magatama. Motive for murder. Why was Juan Kurita murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Arngard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Kurita. You were not that close. That's right, I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You're not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow I highly doubt that. And we are going to present the magazine clipping. Take that! You and Mr. Kurita had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into the story. As to be expected, a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Kurita? As if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Kurita for this person's sake? And now it's time to present Celeste Impacts. Take that! Celeste Impacts, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Miss Impacts, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Oh, she's starting to sweat. Right before her death, she was Juan Kurita's manager, so I believe you got close to Mr. Kurita so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship with nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Okay. Okay, we're gonna present the suicide report. Take that! Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Kurita. One? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Kurita. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor, however, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give, however, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste's impacts with someone very special to you. Okay. Take that! Attempted suicide report. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yet yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. But you were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. I said, stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Kurita of hiding Mrs. Impact's note? You've heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was, why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with the reason to want Mr. Kurita dead. But me? Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder? Unlock successful. It's true, I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews! This one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. Probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note, and that someone was Juan Kurita. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Kurita to recover his suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely added fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so... I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide, I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews? If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. Alright, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, why is that card? What is that card you're holding? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like... A seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Her not remembering something clearly? It sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I'll leave Mr. Ongard in your capable hands. Okay. March 21st, Gateway... Yeah, why do I keep saying Gateway? Gatewater Hotel, hallway. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can. Well, what about Miss Maya? Is she alright? Oh, Pearl, she looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no! I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am. You don't look fine to me. Okay, let's go... see if we can go back to Wright & Company Law Offices. There we go. March 21st, Wright & Company Law Offices. So, what now? Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Impact's a suicide dude? That's right. She was also the one that discovered the victim's body. Clever. Mr. Nick! The transceiver! Hello? Wright & Company Law Offices? Mr. Attorney, you're not answering the phone. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Whew. Which is why, I suppose, she is absolutely famished. But what? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her! Very well. Ask my... Maya, is that you? Sis! Ask my sis! Maya! Maya! Damn it, he cut me off! Mr. Maya said ask my sis, didn't she? Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. Ach! Whoa. Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come, ask me anything you want about her. How's Maya? She's safe for now. That kidnapper is going to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how do you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the notes she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? She didn't see the face of her attacker. Ah. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? Date. Question, question, question. Time, question, question, question. Location, question, question, question. I'm starving! I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I had to stay positive. He promised he wasn't gonna kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I'll interview with Nick right now. Okay. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. Kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Drat! It's locked! But this door's lock seems easily enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. And click, it magically opened the door. I know there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it! This shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius! Alright. Now if you excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay. Now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting. Or worried. To be continued. And there we go. That is the end of day 1 of investigation in the case against Matt Arngood. And the next time I see you guys, we will be getting the trial. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. And I will see you guys again next time.